you've ever felt like you just can't get ahead financially, one of the big reasons might be because there's always something. Christmas, car repair, house repair, medical bills. Isn't there always something? It can feel like every time you turn around, there's constantly something popping up. But what if those things didn't have to throw everything into chaos? What if instead of constantly reacting to those kind of expenses, you started preparing for them ahead of time, little by little? Hi, my name is Kelly. I'm a financial coach, and I teach people a simple budgeting system that they can stick with without tracking every dollar. One thing I've learned is these irregular expenses can create so much financial stress. Just recently, our air conditioner wasn't working, and so we called someone and they came out to look at it, and they told us that the motor was broke and they needed to fix it. Well, the motor is only $200, but the work on it, the labor, was $300. So the entire price was over $500, and that would throw many people into financial chaos. That's exactly what I mean when I say there's always something that comes up. One of the things I teach people in my Buckets Make Sense course is to be prepared for this area of life. A lot of people have a savings account, and they have anything they have saved all setting in one account. So then when something comes up, like a car repair or maybe an air conditioner fix like I had, we don't know, is it okay to use that money? What if something else comes up? And mentally, it can just get really messy. Even if the money is technically there, it can still feel stressful. Personally, I love having separate savings buckets. And the reason that I call them buckets is because it makes it so visual. So maybe you have an emergency fund, car repair, Christmas, travel, medical. You have all these in separate buckets. Like I say, instead of these things coming up and shocking you every single time one of them come up, you're preparing for them in advance. I personally use Capital One 360, and I have no affiliation with them. I wish I did, but one of the reasons I like their banking system is because they allow you to have multiple savings accounts. You can create them and nickname them anything you want. So you can have a savings account, and I call them savings buckets. You can have a savings bucket for Christmas. You can have savings bucket for graduation. You can have a savings bucket for your next big move that you're going to make. Maybe a wedding ring, a wedding, a vacation, a savings bucket for any purpose you want. And honestly, I think that having savings buckets and having your money separated is one of the biggest emotional payoffs of savings buckets in general. Because when Christmas comes, you go and get the money out and you spend it on Christmas. It's earmarked for that, so there's no guilt to spending it. And another great thing this does is it gives a limit for your spending. So if you have $500 to spend at Christmas time, then you know that's where your limit is. Instead of spending all of December and then January getting your bank statement or your credit card statement and realizing, wow, I spent a lot more money than I realized, you have a limit, a cap. And so I love the system of having a bucket for a specific purpose. So when life happens, it doesn't feel like a total financial emergency every single time. This is actually one of the ideas that I teach more fully in my Buckets Make Sense course. And if you never get my course, this is still a really good idea to start with. This would be a place I would recommend you get started right away. Saving for the future in these small buckets. And again, Capital One 360 is where I would recommend you go through, because you can have up to 25 savings accounts there, and you'll be able to save for multiple things and multiple purposes in your life. And once you get your savings together, sometimes it can get kind of addicting and you get on a roll. And one of the next things that people often will have a hard time with is getting their bills in order, getting their bills organized. And so I wanted to mention here that I do have a free bill organizer worksheet. And so if you're interested in that, the link will be in the description and you can get that, and it will help you walk you through a system of getting your bills organized from the top to the bottom so that you feel really good about your monthly expenses. These expenses fall into what I call your pay it bucket. These are the bills that we don't really have any choice about. We just pay them, and I can help you organize them with that worksheet. So in the comments below, if you'd like, please share what savings bucket will you start with today. See you next time. Bye-bye.